Like all animals, human beings want to dominate and exploit the resources around them. At first, we mostly hunted and fished and ate off the land, but then something magical and terrible happened to our minds. We became, alone among the animals, afraid of death and of future loss. And this was the start of a great tragedy and an even greater possibility. You see, when we become afraid of death, of injury and imprisonment, we become controllable.
How much does fear drive you? Before you answer though, let's have a look at an average day. Your alarm wakes you, you jump in the shower, you put on something to smell nice, something to look nice, you straighten your hair, you brush your teeth. If I asked you why, you'd probably say, you've got to be presentable for your job. Otherwise, who's going to take you seriously? In other words, you don't want to lose the respect of your peers. You jump in the car and sit in peak hour traffic or board the train, pressed up against hundreds of strangers all doing the same thing. And if I asked you why you tolerate these stifling, uncomfortable situations, well, you've got to get to work on time, don't you? Otherwise, maybe you'd lose your job. And if you did lose your job, how would you pay your mortgage? You can't achieve that coveted dream of owning your own home if you don't keep on top of those payments. Hell, miss a few months and you could lose the house. If only the damn government didn't have one hand in your pocket all the time, eh? Things would be so much easier. But hey, the only certainties in life are death and taxes, right? You don't want to face fines or imprisonment. You don't want to lose your freedom. Do you see the theme here? Fear of losing respect, of losing your job, your house, your freedom. So let's ask again. How many of the decisions you make each day are driven by fear? Now look, there's no shame in it. This is nothing new. Heck, it's one of the drawbacks to being human. We're sentient beings, burdened with the ability to foresee consequences to every action we take. Not only do we have an understanding of our inevitable impending death, but we know that it can be brought about in an untimely manner by others. But most of these things are just potential. So you're acting on eventualities that have yet to happen, simply because you can imagine them vividly in your mind. Your belief in the likelihood of these potentialities is determined by the stories that you tell yourself, or the stories that you accept that are offered to you by others. And when these stories are given to you by people in authority, you're even more likely to accept them. Again, this is just human nature, one of many shortcuts our minds have found to make sense of the world and keep ourselves safe. But do you see the inherent danger here? Let me ask you something else. How do you feel when you experience the narratives that are highlighted by our news media? Does it make you feel comfortable and confident in the future? Or do you, like me, tend to feel depressed, overwhelmed, and afraid? It's such a truism that has become a trope. The news thrives on blood and fear. Implied in that idea is the assumption that these kinds of stories lead to ratings because it's human nature to be attracted to violence and negativity. But I don't enjoy negative stories. Do you? I don't enjoy being in a constant state of fear and uncertainty. Wouldn't we all rather be uplifted and inspired? So is there a deeper reason that the news gravitates towards negativity, or at least can one be imagined? What if one day some pocket of power decided to try to influence the news media in order to manipulate our collective perception? Could the unquestioned authority we've granted the media over our belief systems become a way to manipulate and control us? And if indeed that had happened, are you sure you would know